The first thing I realized wasn't that I was alive. It was that everyone around me believed I wasn't really there anymore. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't move a finger. I couldn't even tell the nurse that I could hear every word floating through the room. But my mind was clear, painfully clear. Machines beeped in a steady rhythm beside my bed. Someone adjusted my blanket. Footsteps crossed the polished hospital floor. Then I heard my wife's voice. Melissa. She sounded calm. Too calm. "How much longer do they think he'll stay like this?" she asked. A man's voice answered quietly. "Tyler, my stepson. I talked to the doctor. They want to start intensive rehab next week." There was a pause. "Melissa Sahil. That can't happen." Every alarm inside my head went off. Tyler lowered his voice. "If he recovers, everything changes." "I know," Melissa whispered. "The mansion stays in his name. The investment accounts stay under his control. Everything we've planned disappears." For a second, I thought I was trapped inside a nightmare. Melissa and I had been married for 12 years. 12 years. I had paid for Tyler's college, helped him launch his business, treated him like the son I never had. And now they were standing a few feet away, calmly discussing what would happen if I never walked out of this hospital. "I already spoke with the attorney," Melissa continued. "As long as Daniel remains incapable of making decisions, I can keep handling the finances." Tyler chuckled. "He never imagined we'd end up here." "No," Melissa replied. "Daniel always believed people loved him because he was kind." Her words hit harder than the truck that had put me in this hospital. I wanted to scream. I wanted to sit up and tell them I could hear every disgusting word. Instead, I lay perfectly still, while tears formed somewhere behind eyes I couldn't even open. The nurse entered. "Good afternoon," she said warmly. Melissa's voice changed instantly. "Oh, thank you for taking such wonderful care of my husband. If I hadn't heard the conversation myself, I would have believed her." She sounded heartbroken. Tyler even sniffled, pretending to hold back tears. The nurse smiled sympathetically. "Sometimes, patients hear more than we realize. We always encourage families to speak positively." The room went silent. I silently begged the nurse to stay. "Don't leave. Please don't leave." But after checking my monitor, she walked out. The door clicked shut. Melissa laughed. Actually laughed. "Imagine if he really could hear us." Tyler laughed too. "Doesn't matter. He can't do anything." Those words became the promise I made to myself. They thought I was trapped inside my own body forever. They were wrong, because I could hear. I could remember. And if there was even the smallest chance that I would move again, I wasn't going to spend my second chance asking why they betrayed me. I was going to make sure the truth came out. And when it did, neither Melissa nor Tyler would be prepared for what happened next. I stayed completely still. But inside my mind, everything had changed. Until that moment, I had been fighting simply because I wanted to live. Now I had another reason. I wanted the truth. Over the next few days, time lost its meaning. Morning and night blended together beneath fluorescent lights and the constant rhythm of machines. Nurses came and went. Doctors discussed my condition in careful voices. Physical therapists occasionally stopped by my room, explaining exercises they hoped I would soon be able to attempt. Each time someone mentioned rehabilitation, Melissa found a reason to interrupt. "I don't think Daniel is ready. He gets tired so easily. Wouldn't it be better to wait another week?" The doctors never seemed convinced, but they respected her opinion because she was my wife. That realization hurt almost as much as her betrayal. She wasn't just pretending to care. She was using my trust against me. One afternoon, I recognized another familiar voice. It belonged to my younger sister, Rachel. Rachel and I had always been close. We didn't talk every day, but whenever life became difficult, she was there. She hurried into the room. Oh my goodness. I could hear her crying, "Daniel, look at you." Melissa immediately wrapped her in a hug. "We're doing everything we can." Rachel sniffled. "I drove 6 hours as soon as I heard." "I know," Melissa answered softly. "He'd be happy you're here." There was something different about Melissa's performance. She sounded perfect. Too perfect. If I hadn't already known the truth, I would have believed every word. Rachel sat beside my bed. She gently held my hand. "Big brother," she whispered. "If you can hear me, Don't give up. My heart nearly broke. Someone still believed in me. She stayed for almost an hour, telling stories about our childhood, laughing through tears, reminding me about fishing trips with Dad in the old cabin by Lake Harrison. For the first time since the accident, I felt hope, but it disappeared the moment Rachel left. The door clicked shut. Melissa sighed dramatically. She asks too many questions. Tyler answered, "She'll go home tomorrow." I hope so. If she sticks around, she'll start noticing things. What things? The bank transfers. Silence. Then Melissa spoke in a voice so quiet I almost couldn't hear. "I've already moved nearly $2 million." My heartbeat pounded against my chest. $2 million? Tyler sounded nervous. "Isn't that risky?" "Not if everyone believes it's for medical expenses and estate planning. What if he wakes up?" Melissa laughed again. "I've seen the scans. They said recovery is unlikely. They're just keeping everyone hopeful." Tyler let out a slow breath. "So the mansion will eventually be ours." "Everything will." I realized something terrifying. This wasn't panic. This wasn't grief making people act irrationally. This had been planned. Later that evening, my attending physician walked in alone. "Good evening, Daniel." His voice was calm and reassuring. "I know you may not be able to respond, but we're seeing encouraging brain activity." Encouraging. Melis had lied. The doctors hadn't given up. He continued, "I've seen patients recover from worse injuries. If you can hear me, keep fighting." Something inside me refused to stay silent. I concentrated harder than I ever had in my life. Move. Just one finger. Nothing. Again. Move. Come on. Suddenly, a tiny twitch, barely noticeable, but I felt it. The doctor stopped talking. He stepped closer. "Daniel?" He picked up my right hand. "I think." Another twitch. This time it was unmistakable. He immediately pressed the call button. "Nurse." Footsteps rushed into the room. "I need neurology in here. Right now." Voices filled the room. Tests began immediately. No one noticed the smile forming inside my mind. I wasn't trapped anymore. I was coming back. The next morning, Melissa entered carrying flowers. She greeted me with her usual fake warmth. "Good morning, sweetheart." A nurse looked at her. "We're actually seeing some encouraging signs." Melissa froze. "What do you mean?" He responded to stimulation yesterday. "Oh, just one word." But I heard the disappointment hidden behind it. The nurse smiled. "We're optimistic." Melissa forced herself to smile too. "That's wonderful." The nurse left. Melissa waited until the hallway was quiet. Then she whispered through clenched teeth, "This isn't supposed to happen." Tyler arrived 20 minutes later. She pulled him into the corner. "The doctor thinks he's improving." Tyler sounded alarmed. "Seriously?" She nodded. "If he starts talking, he can't. What if he remembers?" Melissa didn't answer. For the first time, I heard fear in her voice. Real fear. That afternoon, they left the room together. Unknown to them, they hadn't closed the door completely. I heard every word from the hallway. "We're running out of time," Tyler whispered. Melissa replied, "Then we speed things up." "How?" "We convince everyone that rehabilitation is causing complications. And if that doesn't work?" A long silence followed. When Melissa finally spoke, her voice was cold enough to send a chill through my entire body. "Then we make sure Daniel never leaves this hospital as the man he used to be." In that instant, I understood something that changed everything. I wasn't just fighting to reclaim my life. I was racing against people who were determined to make sure I never got the chance.